base on which three cubits are perpendicular with each other. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone Mr. Sayegh, tourism expert. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Well, Mr. Sayegh, now the minister have inaugurated this important, the Ramla and Al Haddad towers in Salah ad-Din Citadel. What is the importance of the restoration work that took place there and the inauguration of this?
Well, the fact that Egypt did that restoration, which I can say finally, after decades of waiting for that, because Egypt got a lot of delay in the past decades for the work of restoration of the citadel, as all over the world there is beautiful citadels and fortresses where people can spend days and days in it. So in our decade, now the decision has been taken to repair it, to restore it, to make it as good as it's supposed to be. It got 12 towers that hasn't been restored. So those are the first two to get restored, which is a very good step toward making our citadel as a fortress to be visited as a fortress. At the actual time, it's full of museums and mosques, and we are missing to see our citadel, as a fortress, as the place that has been the area of the presence of the army to protect the greater Cairo. So now we can start to say we are on the right track. We are on the way to do it. So what I hope for the future, that the work to be achieved, to be completed, which is the 12th tower of the fortress, plus the inside of the walls where the soldiers were running in order to attack any invader, also the wells that were inside and where the soldiers were living. So getting our fortress to be similar and equal to the greatest world fortresses, that's a good project because we're supposed to spend days in it and not hours. At the actual time, you just go to see Muhammad Ali Mosque to spend an hour, and kids in schools, they go to see Museum of the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of and so on. So we are now, just now, on the beginning of the right track.
Yes. So, Mr. Sayegh, the citadel of Salah ad-Din in Egypt is really unique architecture, and it is the symbol of, or the center of ruling in Egypt before the Abdin Palace was built, of course. Give us an idea about the citadel and also the area surrounding it. The state and the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities have made restoration work and made several work around the citadel.
Yes, I like the question. That's an excellent one.
Thank you so much.
Because you are hitting the right point, which is the citadel is not, has not been made to put an army in, but as a place before Abdin Palace to put the ruler in.
Yes.
And that's very, very correct. It was the area where Salah ad-Din as a ruler has lived, and all the Khalifa after him, till came Muhammad Ali Pasha, who made his house inside of it, and now it's inaugurated, the palace of Muhammad Ali Pasha, and then he made another palace in Shubr al-Khima, beautiful, huge one that can be compared to the European beautiful, biggest palaces ever, and then later on, Ismail Pasha made Abdin Palace and the other palaces in Egypt. So from there we can talk that the citadel of Salah ad-Din has been made to put the ruler in a point where he can see Greater Cairo, control the city, because as Egypt has been always surrounded by desert, it has never been a need to make a fortress inside the city to protect it. But it has been made to create a safe area to live. Because starting that citadel, we made a wall that was surrounding the whole Cairo, which is the old cities, the cities that has been built starting 642, which was El Fustat, El Askar, El Qataya, and then the area where there is Khan al-Khalili, which is Cairo, and the wall that has been done has surrounded all of that. And we have to know that Egypt has made a beautiful aqueduct, which is the transportation of water from the Nile up to the citadel. And from there, we can see that the greater Cairo by that time became the safest ever place to live and to make a commerce. And Egypt, due to that, became a capital for the whole Oriental world. And we became, through that, the spot that everyone is willing to live in and even to attack, because we became very rich due to that.
Yes.
So the citadel, when it has been done, it has been very well done. It could be compared to the most beautiful construction in all over the world of history.
Yes. Also, Mr. Sayegh, I would like to ask you about the location of the citadel and why was this place especially chosen for the citadel to be built. It's not only a nice building and unique architecture. It is built on a mountain or a plateau. And when we visit the citadel, the atmosphere there and the air is very good there, even if it's in the summer and the weather is very hot in Cairo. You feel there's another a different air and atmosphere out there in the citadel, and it was built away from the Nile. The citadel could have been, for example, built on the Nile, very near to the Nile, but it is away from the Nile. Even the mosques that is surrounding it, the old mosques of Egypt, the Islamic city itself is not very near to the Nile, yet it's overlooking the pyramids, of course, and you can see the pyramids from the citadel, but yet it's away. So choosing this location, give us an idea about it.
Well, actually, when the citadel has been made, as you know, it's a desert area, which means it's very hot. So getting this elevation of 150 meters gives a few degrees of cooler weather. And on the second part, we have to know just behind the citadel, there is El Muqattam, which is the area from which they cut some of the stones to build the citadel. Because we have two kinds of stones that has been used. The one coming from El Muqattam itself, and the one coming from the ancient Egyptian temples of Ain Shams. And from there, Karakosh, which was the engineer who made the construction, has been able to make the cutting, the transportation, and everything.
Yes.
On the other side, the zone of the citadel, beside its cool weather, and there is the area of the stones, it has been surrounded by a natural protection, which is a lower area, and that lower area will make things for soldiers who would like to attack a bit difficult.
Yes.
The citadel, which has been chosen after a study to find a well for the water. So even if it's an elevation, there is a well inside that we call Bir Yusuf, and from there the soldiers, if they are stuck in it, they still have water to drink. And to put more and more for their needs, they made a wall that became like a corridor to transport the water coming from the Nile. Egypt by that time did have an excellent organization, which is during the flood, we did have what we call sabil. So during the flood, camels will be bringing water from the Nile to the sabil, and usually it's like 400 camel or 400 transportation that has been done to fill those sabil. That will be enough for one season.
Yes.
So Egypt was well known by that technology. We did have the caves right to put water in them. But beside the Nile, we did have by that time another citadel which is called Babylon, where El Fustat is there, and now it's Old Cairo. So Babylon was made to protect boats coming from upper or lower Egypt for the commerce, and that one was made for the soldiers. Yes. And from here we can understand how the Khalifa was organizing with the army the protection of commerce and the citizens.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Mr. Simon Sayegh, tourism expert. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.